Good morning, Sean and Milo. It is time now for the Revelstoke Mayor Report with your mayor, Mark McKee. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Sean. Morning, Milo.
How's Mark?
Excellent.
Do you have your motorcycle insured yet?
I'm thinking this weekend.
You've noticed that the street sweepers are out and the bikes are starting to make their way on the roads?
I've been noticing.
Is there some stuff that you'd like to touch base on?
I just wanted to give the community an update on the meeting that I had with Claire Trevenna, the Minister of Highways in Victoria. It was good. Not as fruitful as I wanted, but I basically got what I expected. And I think it's important for this community, like it always does, is to be front and center about highway issues and making sure that everybody hears. And Doug Klovchuk, our MLA, was instrumental in setting the meeting up. And Doug has really grabbed onto this file and is front and center with the minister and the whole government, really. Yeah, he's like a dog on a bone, that guy, with this. But anyways, I just want to put a plug in because he is working really hard on this. But, you know, we had a lot of road closures this year. And even though with the mitigation with avalanche control system, which works very good. The variable speed signs, which I think are a great thing to have. It really tells you when something's happening ahead, so you're getting prepared for it. There's going to be more avalanche control systems being put in. With the amount of snowfall that we had this year, the chamber told me that we were averaging one road closure a week, which is not great, not acceptable, but not unrealistic when you look at how much snow. Some areas, the minister is telling me, that received 170% of normal snowfall. And I'm not sure where we are around here, but I've been hearing 120%. You know, you look at our snow removal budget, and it's beat to heck this year, and we'll be dealing with that in the early part of the winter coming up. The minister did assure me that her priority still is Golden, Revelstoke to Golden, Highway 1, getting more projects going, expediting the projects that are already been approved. It was good to hear. I don't know what I really expected. It was kind of, I won't say same old, but it was nice to hear that as far as she's concerned, the number one priority is still in this area.
Well, I talked to Doug, and he was talking about the project from Alberta border to Kicking Horse Canyon, and he said that it's like $429 million from the provincial government, and the feds are going to match that. It's going to be the most expensive section of highway expansion probably in history on the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah.
It does seem like the Three Valley Gap, they just don't understand.
What I said to the minister, we talked quite a bit about Three Valley Gap, and just like Kicking Horse Canyon and Park Bridge, all those projects that are the most expensive projects on the Trans-Canada Highway, Three Valley Gap is going to fall into that pile. We talked about the rock sliding, the unfortunate incident with one of our residents. It really hits home to where we live. And then, of course, I'm driving home from Victoria, and that's the day that the big boulder came down, and they could put up all of the kinds of fencing and that'll help smaller rocks. Sure. And it'll do something, and it's better than nothing. But when the big guys like that come down, they're probably going to be pulling down a whole bunch of material that they're putting up to stop those kind of things. So they talked about other ideas that they're looking at, but at the end of the conversation, I said, you know, all the things that we're talking about really all lead up to one thing. We have to 4-lane the highway. We have to be able to have more highway real estate there so that when a snowfall comes down or rocks come down, you've got more lanes to work with. You can divert traffic instead of having all these major road closures. So that's the ultimate fix. And we as a community think that there's going to be a magic wand waved and the whole highway is going to be fixed from one to the other. It's not going to happen. More projects have been done in the last 15 or 20 years than have been done in the 20 or 30 or 40 years prior to that. We are moving in a good direction. It's not moving near as fast as what a lot of us would like to see, but at least it's there. Staying front and center of the ministry is only going to bode well for future projects. And we just have to, as a community, keep the pressure up. And regardless if I'm sitting in any political chair, I'm still going to be pushing anybody I can for highway upgrades because it's important to all of us. It's important to the traveling public and the safety of all the people that live here.
We just got to make sure that whoever takes over as mayor is just as squeaky. Milo will do it. Me and Milo.
Milo's got too much hair for being mayor. We've got the Eastern Access, and the Eastern Access is a real big concern, and we have to start making the Eastern Access a more prominent entrance into the community. With this roundabout at the bottom of the hill that's being started and will be done for next year, there's an opportunity for us to start diverting big traffic away from the downtown core, like Downey Timber, for example. There's 300 trips a day that go through the community. It would be easier for them to use the roundabout, go to the Eastern Access. But what the Eastern Access needs is ultimately it needs a traffic light, which may be difficult, but it also needs merge lanes heading west and heading east that makes it available for the trucks to gain speed to get on the highway. So you go up there, people are going by at 100 kilometers an hour plus, and you're trying to merge onto a highway with no merging lanes. Unfortunately, it's an accident waiting to happen, and a serious one. The staff in the ministry are going to be looking into that, and at the city, we've already told them what we'd like. We'd like to get a traffic light up there, just a construction traffic light, just to start it. The merge lanes are going to be hugely important. I really do want to thank Doug Klochuk for doing a great job on the highway file, and he's on it. Because he's now opposition, he's a lot more aggressive, and that's fine. I want to work with government, anybody who's in government, to bring changes and improvements to the Trans-Canada Highway. This next coming week, there's going to be a municipal convention here. So there's about 150 to 175 local politicians and staff people are coming here. It's a Southern Interior Local Government Association. It's a regional government associations of mayors, councilors, regional district staff, and we have these mini conventions, and we talk about issues like Trans-Canada Highway. Of course, the big one on every radar is the legalization of cannabis. Information sessions, we meet with other communities and talk about the things, and actually Dr. Battersby and myself are actually going to be doing a 40-minute session on the boom and bust economy of Revelstoke, and talking about how Revelstoke got to where it is today, and the trials and tribulations of small town BC. Those are the kind of things that we can all learn from other communities. What works, what doesn't work. Try to implement that in our own communities. Revelstoke is always viewed by a lot of the surrounding communities as a very successful community. We have our issues, we all know that. But all in all, we're doing pretty good. Increasing your knowledge and looking at what other communities do right and what they do wrong will help all of us.
One question would be in terms of the roundabout. Now, we got the $5 million from the feds, and that was to create that whole roundabout. But the one thing that you can't do with that $5 million is purchase. And that chunk of land does belong to CP Rail, if I'm not mistaken. Do we know how much it's going to cost to buy up that chunk, and so that we can start to convert it?
I don't think that we've got those figures yet, but this $5 million is also doing other things, and it's going to be making better walking paths, cycling paths. It's going to be looking at all the infrastructure that's in the ground and upgrading sewer lines, water lines, storm water. And I think that those items are to the tune of about $1.5 million. This $5 million was a gas tax grant. That's 100% a grant. So we as a community have not put any of our taxpayer money into it, our local taxpayer money. And there's negotiations going on now, and also sitting down with all the immediate property owners and showing them the plan and seeing how they feel about it, how it affects their property. And so that's the process that's going on right now. There'll be more to come.
So the city might not even be purchasing that.
Might not be. I
don't know yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was it. You're free. You let us know how Silva
Beautiful.
goes. It looks really exciting, Mark, by the way.
That's local politicians. Exciting. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Milo.